Okay, hello peoples. So, as the title should suggest if it did this correctly, we are going to be launching the IPV Intrepid into orbit all at once. Fully fueled. Very much unlike was intended, where it's supposed to be launched in sections that dock together, but no, we're doing the whole thing at once because I want a challenge. So, yeah, this is, I guess, also my first time streaming from my new setup at college. Hopefully everything works out. So everything appears to be working. I did a test stream earlier, but it's a bit odd because now my secondary screen is on my right instead of my left, and I inverted all the OBS stuff, and yeah. Anyway, so IPV Intrepid. Oh, also we're going to have the centrifuge inflated. So the IPV Intrepid, fully fueled, masses a whopping 256 metric tons and takes up a significant portion of the height of the vehicle assembly building. So it's going to be a bit of a challenge to get up, I think. Oh, how am I going to approach this, actually? This is going to be interesting. Let's see. We're definitely gonna have to support it from multiple places, otherwise it's gonna get all floppy, I think. So how big of a fairing can we put this in? Because I think we're gonna have to put this in a big fairing, otherwise it's gonna have way too much drag. What is this? Ooh, also, oh, okay. For some reason, stuff got unfueled. No. It's not 250 something metric tons. It's fully fueled. It's if I fill all of these up, it's on. Boop. Boop. These. Yes, it is in fact 285 metric tons. Even better. So, anyway, let's look at what fairing options we have. There we go. So, for payload-wise, we do have a 7.5 meter fairing because of near future launch vehicles. That's still not going to be enough to get to the centrifuge in. Yeah, let's go with the 7 meter fairing because we're also probably going to want to have a fairly substantial support structure around it. So I-beams, I think, or modular girder segments. Probably something like this. With struts absolutely everywhere. And probably on the couplers, actually, so that we can jettison them out. Couplers, side to couplers. There we go. And then probably out a little bit more. Then strut it down. So yeah, the general plan is to, I guess, surround this in structural bits to support it from being all wobbly, and then perhaps a more decouply bits here to go around the centrifuge. Is it skirter segment? There. So there. Then tate out. Then we want probably want to go a bit further out. Why are these rotated? Ah, there we go. Boop. Boop. Then in again. To stick the end struts on. This is gonna be a well, interesting thing to launch. Now we must cover this in struts, I think. Struts of all kinds. Let me place it. Oh, it's interesting. I don't think we can actually stretch that far, or something's getting in the way. But anyway, we can do that though, which should serve a similar purpose. And the entire purpose of these things is so we can strut onto this some way. Good enough for our purposes. Said good enough for our purposes. There we go. Okay. Up. Okay. More struts. We need to connect these to each other in some fashion, I think. Probably too far. What if... Not that much, but maybe that much. Or if we do this. Cutting it pretty close to the ab ring. Struts. This kind. Okay. Then of course struts from here to the actual body of the craft. Here to the body of the craft. From here to the body of the craft. And something like so it should be pretty straight, something like that, and then down again, something like that. And then we'll probably also want separation motors. And a complicated way of blowing all this stuff off. Otherwise, probably gonna have issues with yeah, there. And we want to slide these off something like that, but let's take these out a bit. We want to slide them off in sort of like that direction. And these separatrons should do that. Probably don't need as much fuel though for that. Where'd the separatrons go? Good. There they are. Then for this bit, want to miss the crew cabin with our thrust. Send B. And exit off here. Probably want a 45-degree down this one. That. And center of mass is going to be roughly in the middle, so we want to think slightly reduce the thrust limiter on this so that it should rotate the whole thing that way away. And of course, use the fuel load. So let's actually test this. This works. So for simplicity, let's just remove all the stuff that. Oh, it's not actually disabling staging. Anyway. Boom. Okay, yeah, these are good. Then fairing SEP should go before all this. Then first thing to deploy should be this and the separation motors on it. So this, separation motors, top separation motors, that. And the bottom separation motors are that one and that one. And then these go here. So FPV Intrepid launcher. Let's test this. See if it actually works. Ooh, we might want to enable rigid attachment and auto strut on most of these, because it's quite wobbly under gravity. Anyway, it's back gravity low for the testing. So first thing that should deploy is the top bits. So let's see if those do correctly. Perfect. Then do the bottom bits deploy correctly? What exploded? Ooh, they blew up the engine. Okay, that's not what we want. Need to fix that. So we fix that probably by one, two, three, four, 5, 6, 7, 8. Fix that by doing this. So they shouldn't impinge on the engine and blow it up. Okay. So boom, boom. Upper ones. And that stage. So now we need even more struts probably. This is okay. On the strut heaviest part. Off. On auto strut heaviest part. This part. Part. Heaviest part. Strut. More. Auto strut. Attachment on. This part. And Actually, no, I think these we want to go to root part. Okay, let's check to see if this decouples correctly. So we still have hack gravity on. Stage that. These all separate cleanly. These do not separate cleanly. We need to angle them more up so that they don't lift so much. So 1, 2, say, then 1, 2. Okay. Let's try it now. Let's see. Mostly perfect. We still want the top to swing out first, so we'll want to reduce the thrust limiters of these to, like, I think 50 should do. Reduce the amount of fuel they have. Iterative design. Yay. Oh no, I forgot to start recording. It's fine, we can grab the VOD off of Twitch. Hopefully I have it set to save the VODs. Give me a second, let me check that. Yep, okay, they are, the VODs are being saved, good. So I can download this, then stick it on YouTube. Cool. Anyway. Perfect. Now, we need to, well, turn off hack gravity, otherwise we're gonna be cheating. And we need to put a fairing around this. And then figure out a way to actually put this into space. my god, this is gonna be interesting. Okay, hey. Okay. 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 Yes. 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 Okay. And, well, actually, first we should check, does the fairing separate cleanly? Yes, it does. Well, mostly. Good enough. So I'm thinking asparagus staging to the pretty much max. Should probably like put an engine plate and then because issue is higher up we're gonna ooh yeah, that like that. This is gonna be some right interesting staging, I think. If we stick on a size 7 fuel tank and like that, and an array of, say, poodles, what kind of delta V are we talking? .2 kilometers per second. An absolutely atrocious thrust-weight ratio. And we're not going to be able to use these low down, so we probably need to use something with a bit. 340, 353 newtons versus 500. Could cover the entire thing in aero spikes. That would actually be doable. Let's see about covering the entire thing in aero spikes. Use some mainsails or something for the outer stages. So we want one of those big engine plates. Where were they? Oh, that's only a 5-meter one. We need the. Where's the? Are there a? I think there should be a 7.5-meter engine mount. Where is it? Yeah. Ooh. If we just go with... Is there a 7.5 meter? Ooh, where were these? Now we're talking. Now we're talking. Yeah, where were these in the, maybe... Here. Okay, that's why I missed them. So, what options do we have? We have this thingy with a large quantity. We have this thingy with also a large quantity. This thingy with some quantity, or this thingy with a quite large quantity. Let's go with this. Okay. So actually, with the power of I think ReStock, making more things surface attachable. Probably actually just want to stick them all on the bottom of one of these. Do we actually have to stick them on the bottom? Ooh. I know how to fix this. Boop, boop, boop. Boop. I'll go back up. Perfect. I need more thrust. Jeez. Yeah, we're gonna have to go with something a bit less efficient. We can always have ye old trusty skipper. Let's go with the packed versions. Yep. Ye old trusty skipper. And they can probably let us down, but it'll definitely work. And then the center a more vacuum optimized engine. Ooh, what's the 205 versus 280? Yeah, okay. Well, this is great for vacuum. It's not what we want here because these are going to be active at sea level too. Wonderful. Just stick one in the middle. Yeah, unfortunately there's no in-between on the on 8x symmetry, but that should be, this should be fine for what we need. Just do the standard, grab a structural tube to cover them up a bit, act like a boat tail. Are there structural tubes in that size? What is this? Ah. This is probably exactly what we want. Yes, yes. Pull these off. And actually no. Let's go with structural tube. Undo's not going to work because there's just simply too much going on. Yeah. Structural tube. Boop. Then gotta zoom in, grab just the structural tube. Nope. Come on. Where is it? There. Okay. Perfect. And there we go. 1.3 kilometers per second. That's great. And we need to put this even higher. Wonderful. Okay. I think that's pretty much as high as it'll go. So now we need to get this thing to like, I think it was 3,400 meters per second needs in order to yeet something into low carbon orbit, plus probably a lot of margin, because this is not going to take a normal ascent profile, and this is not going to work out, I don't think. So, 2.5 meter, I'm thinking 2.5 meter boosters. No, 3.75 meter boosters. There we go. Okay. Now, coupling, hydraulic detachment, and fold. Higher up, because we're going to put some stuff. So, engines. Ooh. Oh yes, okay. I think I know what we need for this. Yeah, the thing is the Mammoth engine clusters. Oh, they do fit. Very good. Very good. Okay. Okay. Now, these Mammoth engine clusters are pretty hollow. I'm not gonna just go and slap in another fuel tank in there. Just offset things up a bit. Okay, and now we just need more fuel tanks. According to the Delta V, this should actually be enough to get us up into orbit. Actually, I'm gonna want to asparagus stage these things, so I have to, I think, split their symmetry. Yep. Actually, no, let's try onion staging. It's only going to be single layer onion staging at this point, but it's fine. Most onion staging is single layer. Onion staging means, because unlike asparagus staging where you have like pairs of where you're feeding fuel from this booster to this booster to this booster to the core, and then drop off this booster, then this booster, then this booster, essentially in pairs, which gets you better efficiency. I think it's because you're essentially having drop tanks, except the drop tanks carry their own weight because they have an engine on them. But onion staging is the simpler version of that. It's essentially like single booster asparagus staging, where you essentially have all the boosters feeding into the core, and then they all drop off. Now we do definitely want these engines going. Then grab a fuel duct and in. Okay. 2 and 1.85. Good. Okay, this should work actually. This is probably going to be quite slow, and we're going to need separation motors of some kind. Go with an aerodynamic cap, probably. Nope. Doesn't look as good as these. And then there. Pointy. And then strut all these together. We'll strut them. Can't really strut them to the core though, because the core is a fairing, wherever the best place to strut these is. So we'll just kind of do that. Now, separation-wise, we definitely probably need a whole load of these, because these boosters are going to be heavy. Very heavy. Well, massy, actually. Hopefully, this doesn't burn out the fairing. They're quite heat tolerant, we should be fine. Fairings. Okay. Then put 2 of them here. Boop. Boop. Okay. So then the separation rockets fire when it stages, not when it... No. There. Okay. Guess this wasn't as crazy of a rocket as I thought we'd need in order to launch this. Granted, I am using 7.5 meter and 5 meter and 3.75 meter parts, so perhaps I should. Eh. Nah. Eh. Are these gonna collide? They are not, as long as it doesn't drop back. Okay, and then a large and somewhat intricate launch clamp system. Yeah, okay, that's gonna get in the way. So, launch clamps all set up. That's all set up. What else do we need? Yeah, this is okay. Yeah, the bulgy bit is gonna be probably gonna be hard to control. So, how much does how much thrust does a Werner make? It makes 12 kilonewtons. A heavy bipropellant makes 8. The specific until so 250, 60. The Werner engine is not actually necessarily better. Because oops. Okay. I duplicated one of the boosters, and that does not like that. Definitely want maneuvering like that. Where's the center of mass? There's the center of mass. Okay, then we still want maneuvering like that. Once this is up, so we'll put these on. So, okay. Let's launch this and see what happens. Hopefully my computer can handle this. can do it. KSP, you can do it. Computer. There we go. Okay, this is, I think, the biggest chonker I have ever launched. It is, here we are. Yeah, the first rocket, the first spacecraft to on my more powerful new laptop turn these numbers yellow, which means that physics cannot run at full speed. There's just too much to compute. I can feel the frames chugging a bit. Ooh, oh yeah, people hopped on. And the centrifuge is going. Ha, perfect. Now, I'm going to attempt to fly this manually, I think. Definitely want to make sure all the engines are going at full power before I drop it. So we'll actually want to do this. Okay. Here we go. There we go. And we are rising. Slowly, but we are rising. My god, that is a lot of engine. Okay, we'll want to start. Yeah, turn these off thrust, otherwise they're gonna start. Otherwise, some of them are gonna run out of fuel earlier than others because they haven't turned on throttle controlled avionics. Okay. Come on. You can do it. We are accelerating. Well, not actually that slowly, but it looks slow because this is such a massive rocket. We want to start pitching over, though. We want to get to... This is going to be a rather high ascent profile because we don't appear to be pitching over as fast as we need to. Come on, turn! Turn, damn it! Yeah, we're already this high up. We're already 13 kilometers. We're not actually going particularly fast compared to how some of our other rockets do, I think. Now, one good thing is the IPV Intrepid does not appear to be wobbling around inside the I gotta grab a screenshot of this. There we go. Now we want to kind of level off here, I think. stage separation should be happening fairly soon. Gonna want to throttle down a bit because the thrust to weight ratio is going up a lot. Apoapsis is at 80 kilometers. Okay. Aim prograde. Okay, we want to burn ourselves to an orbit. Okay. Oh, let's execute node and see how it takes this. Ooh, the vectors thrusts aren't even rendering, it seems. Oh. Are these? No, okay, we're not using monopropellant. Okay, we have 57 seconds to turn this shonker around. Come on, turn. Okay. Need to start slowing down now, I think. Otherwise we're going to overshoot pretty hard. Come on. Slow down. Jeez, this thing is heavy. We might not actually make it in time to hit the maneuver. Come on. Oh, I know why that was. I had caps lock mode on, so it was reducing my control inputs. There we go. Okay. The error is decreasing. Wonderful. And... oh, okay, we're gonna start in a bit more than what this says we should start at. Okay. 2, 1, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. There we go. Screenshots. Okay. And stage SEP pretty soon. Let's see what happens. Ooh, it didn't. There we go. Manual SEP. Lots of pretty screenshots. And hopefully we should make orbit. Actually, once we get, we might actually have the Delta V to get to Minmus. I mean, well, we definitely have the Delta V to get to Minmus. This thing currently, from where it is right now, has the Delta V to get to Joule, go throughout the Joule system, and then come back, because our this thing is full of liquid fuel, and we have a nuclear thermal rocket engine on the IPV Intrepid. So from Kerbal orbit, it can go to Joule, fly around Joule system a bit, then come back. And it has a, and we're also carrying the refueling lander, so we can land pretty much anywhere. Well, not pretty much anywhere, but we could land and refuel. Anyway, Apoapsis 126 by 76. This was not a very pretty burn, but we are actually in orbit. Let's pop the fairing. Wow. He's okay. It's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Now, how much Delta V do we actually have in this? It's not saying. Current 0. Why is Delta V 0? That's odd. It's quite odd. Anyway, let's see how far we can go. I mean, we can always just pop out the actual spacecraft. Minmus. Let's say Minmus. Let's go to Minmus. Sending node. is there. We have 5 degrees of nation change to do. Should be doable with the amount of fuel we currently have. My god, turning this thing around is going to be a pain though. Even just the Intrepid itself is not easy to turn. Let's see. Using all the power of all the RCS systems on the thing, we can actually get it up to a decent clip on rotation. Huh. Wow. While blowing through a monopropellant at a rather scary rate, actually. Hey, and now he wants to stop. Rotating. Perfect. Okay. Warp to the maneuver. And 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. I have to count slower because it's slowing down time. 2, 1, 0. Here we go. Large rocket engine noises. Okay. And now, to get to Minmus, we'll want to time warp ahead a little bit. Want to, not there, but somewhere around here. The maneuver node. And we should hit Minmus. Yes. Okay. And the encounter, are we getting a good enough one? Execute. What are you? Abort maneuver. What's going on? Something happened. Ooh. Also, I don't think we have enough delta V in this thing to get us to min-miss. So we're gonna have to go. Let's up the maneuver. I do fear that Ah, yes. That problem. Okay, so the issue we're having here is this. The Intrepid itself does not have a very good thrust weight ratio, and this does not have the delta V to actually get us to min-miss. So we're going to have to ditch it. So, stage separation. Initiate. Boom. And boom. And boof. And pull us out. Go. Nice. You know, we've achieved our mission. We got this to orbit. An entire, mostly fully fueled minus some monopropellant IPV Intrepid in orbit, in which this has the delta V to go pretty much anywhere in the system. Very nice. Yeah, I think I'm getting a bit tired. I think I'll end this here. Cool. So, have a good insert time zone relevant greeting here. And fare thee well.